League that were from Arizona would think that would be horribly embarrassing, right? So the National Football League is kind of saying, we don't want to be punitive here, but I don't know about the Super Bowl in '93. Well, kind of an interesting story. This controversy grows around Mecham and the fact he might be racist. 15,000 people march in protest against his decision to the state capitol. Then he gets himself involved in some funny business with money and campaign funding. And the next thing you know, you put all these things together and he's impeached and convicted out of office. You're going to get better.
Talking about like Martin Luther King's morals were in the right place. The
Yeah.
most important.
Yeah, so he's getting heat. There's some financial problems that had to do with the election. And he's getting all this heat over his decision to repeal the bill. Well, we're not in the middle of an election here, so the Arizona Secretary of State, Rose Mofford, who by the way was the first female governor in Arizona history, takes over the governorship of Arizona. So when Mecham is impeached and convicted out of office, Arizona's Secretary of State, Rose Mofford, is appointed temporary governor. What's the first thing she does, Charles, when she gets into office?
Reinstates.
What's that?
Reinstates Martin Luther King.
That's right. She re-signs the bill that would make Martin Luther King Jr. Day a national holiday. Well, by this time, who's going to have to decide whether it happens or not? The people. Very good, very good. So in order for the bill to become official, after Mofford signs it, it has to go to a vote to the citizens, simple majority. Majority rules, yep.
So if they do like repealed it, doesn't the public have to decide not to?
They didn't at this time. It was a legislative thing, but Arizona had a special law in their constitution that allowed the people to sign petitions and get they could have a new law and circumvent the Congress if they wanted to. That was the law in the Arizona Constitution. So they got this petition going and they put it up for a vote. Now, the National Football League made it very clear. If this vote does not pass, we are taking the Super Bowl out of your city. So, the National Football League makes it clear the Super Bowl will not be held in Phoenix if the people of Arizona vote against the national holiday. Well, you'll see the exact vote. I didn't write it down in the video when you watch it. But the bill fails. And I don't quote me on numbers, but it's like 552,000 to 505,000. It's pretty close, but it fails. And all of a sudden, every citizen in Arizona has now become a racist. No, seriously. That's the thing. Arizona's racist. They won't pass the bill. The 502,000 that voted for it don't matter. I'm telling you, that's how it was. And we'll get to that in a minute. So, when the votes were tallied and the bill failed to pass, the Super Bowl was moved to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. Now, I'm telling you, when you get to this, I'm not making this up. It's kind of funny, I get it. Every person in Arizona is a racist now. That's how it went for like 2 years. That's how Arizona was looked at. By God, the state that voted down Martin Luther King Day. So, from the efforts of a few people, what did they do? They reintroduced this in for another vote. And in 1992, it was voted on again. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, gee whiz, that Super Bowl was supposed to be 1993. God, if they vote this in, they'll get it back. No, because it takes too long to plan. That one is gone. Okay? Gone. Well, because of that embarrassment and the fact that everybody in the country thought that Arizona was racist, which they did, it didn't matter if you voted for or against, people said, my God, we have got to get this straightened out here. We got to get this taken care of. So they have another vote in 1992. The people of Arizona again go to the polls. And this time it passes by over 60%, which is a good margin of victory. Over 60% it passes in 1992. But the decision and the vote prior to that cost Arizona somewhere between $200 and $300 million for not hosting a Super Bowl. So, that's the bad news. Here's the good news. Since 1992, when Martin Luther King Day became a national holiday in Arizona, Arizona has hosted 3 Super Bowls. The first one, and most important, in 1996, because the vote was in 92, so you know they gave it to them pretty quick after that, because they give it to you years in advance, 3 years in advance. So they made up for it. The National Football League made up for it, and after that vote was passed, they were awarded the 1996 Super Bowl. They also have hosted the 2008 Super Bowl and the 2015 Super Bowl. And it came out, I think about a month ago, that hey, they have been awarded the 2023 Super Bowl. So they will be in the Super Bowl business now. They actually were going to have that first Super Bowl in Tempe, Arizona, at Sun Devil Stadium, where Arizona State plays. Since then, if you follow sports, they built a brand new, beautiful stadium in Phoenix, and that's what they've hosted these Super Bowls in. Now, we're not quite done yet, because it wasn't until January 17th of 2000 that all 50 states recognized Martin Luther King Day as a national holiday. From the late 60s to 2000, geez, how long did that take? 69, 79, 89, 99. 31 years it took for every state to come into this. Who were the last 2 states?
Alaska and Alaska.
One's a northern state, one would you consider a southern state. Alabama, everybody says Alabama, and that's a great guess. You'd think they would be, but they weren't.
Florida.
Nope. South Carolina, the last state. You remember a guy named J. Strom Thurmond I talked to you about?
Yeah.
He was, that guy served in the Senate longer than any man in history. He was still there. And I think he was the guy that kind of held him out. And the second to the last state was New Hampshire, believe it or not. New Hampshire and South Carolina were the final 2. All right, here's kind of what we're going to do here. I'm going to show you the song Happy Birthday by Stevie Wonder. Then tomorrow, listen up, tomorrow we'll start the day by showing you a short video about 25 minutes called The Super Bowl That Wasn't.
Wait, so if Wyoming built a stadium but we don't have like a
Happy birthday from the Maryland.
Yeah, well, this